You just gotta.
Just gotta carry it.
Just gotta carry the show by yourself. Hey,
We're all having a wonderful Christmas time. Hey, everybody. We're just getting started. We're grabbing a couple of extension cords, so bear with us.
the royal we.
The royal we. And then also there was Michael. Briefly. Everything sounding okay over there, Tim?
Yep.
Cool.
Light's gonna go out.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Alright.
Aaron, what's your favorite flavor of Red Bull?
Electricity.
It's like you're the emperor.
Yeah.
Or maybe just related to
Do it.
The Emperor. Do it. Do it.
You know, Judas
Do you think he
Priest
practiced that?
Judas Priest got a lot of trouble for saying that. I think you really want to be careful.
Right. Do you think he practiced that like in front of a mirror? He was like,
Absolutely.
do it. Do it.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to the RetroBlasting live stream. This is Michael on the mic. That is
Michael
not.
on the mic.
That is not
King
a
Ed
nickname.
Rock. That is my name.
We call him Mikey Mike.
Melinda is behind camera this time because she's going to be operating camera because we have a big donation box that we're going to be opening, and so we need to be able to see all that stuff so that you can all see it. Let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear us all. Aaron, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Aaron. I'm introducing myself. It's very good to be here with you, Michael.
Notice that Aaron has a mic today. He always has.
Two mics.
Yes,
he
I
has
do.
you, and he has.
He always has a mic, but this time Melinda, snorting into her own mic, is on the lav behind camera. So Melinda, say hi to everybody.
I love you guys.
Aww.
Oh. Hi, everyone.
That was really
I'm
sweet.
back here. I'm a disembodied voice today.
Wow, is Addy1 Revisited really on our stream? Holy crap. Hi, Addy1. How are you?
That's incredible.
That's really cool. Thank you so much for being here. You know I'm a huge fan of your work. I don't have to tell you twice.
This is the first time I've ever seen you starstruck.
Well, I'm always starstruck by Addy1. He's a talent. He's a talent to be reckoned with, and I believed in him back in 2006 during the weird days of message boards and no social media, and so just to see him here is just awesome. So thanks for being here. All right, we're gonna get started with the live stream now, officially. But first, before we get into this big donation box, I wanted to show you guys something that a supporter of ours gave me at Retro Toy Con to work on to send back. He's been having problems, and a lot of you guys have been asking me about this toy over the years, but I haven't had any reason to repair one. This is the Talking Kit Knight Rider 2000 from the Kenner line, the Knight Rider line in the 80s. I have a complete one over in the case over there. This is the one that came with the big David Hasselhoff figure, but it has one of those record player mechanisms in it, and so I need to figure out why his record player isn't working anymore, because right now his car, when you press down on the if you press down on the license plate, Kit doesn't say anything, like hello Michael, it doesn't do that. So I'm going to be working on this in an upcoming video series, trying to figure out why this isn't working.
That will be a pretty in-depth dig, I think.
Yeah, because
Sounds
this
like
is
a good idea for a name of that series. Why isn't this working?
yeah,
Why isn't this
because this
working?
right here is literally a record player.
Yeah. And is it spring powered or battery powered?
Band powered and then battery powered. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's just the driver mechanism on it that's working, but yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, so we're gonna figure that out. But that's says Ozen, Japan. I wonder if they made all of those types of mechanisms back then.
It'd be interesting because this is one of the first times I've seen the actual record player mechanism from these toys up close.
Me too.
And I found myself wondering, for comedic purposes, is it possible to replace the record with something else?
Right.
But we probably wouldn't.
Hey, Michael, can you hold that up so that...
I can.
Hey, thanks, Scott.
My hair is really bad today.
Not at all, man. Scott Knudsen, thank you. Merry Christmas to you too, or Happy Life Day, whatever.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Happy Festivus.
We are about to get into the main event. This donation. Got restorations on the mind. Oh yeah, thank you, sir.
You're quite welcome.
So we're gonna put all this back in here and clear the table. So I was contacted by a supporter named James, and he said he had some Masters of the Universe and other toys that he wanted to donate from childhood to the RetroBlasting studio. And nice guy, went to meet him, and we had lunch and we talked, and then he handed over this huge bin of stuff. And the bin was so extensive that I realized I couldn't just start, going through it on a live stream. I needed to assess what was in it so that you guys aren't sitting there watching me just like, oh, what's this? What's that? What's this? There was so much in it that I had to really, look at it first. So I've got it over here, and I can't believe the stuff that's in this. I mean, okay, so call it out. I want you guys to call it out when I pull something up, and then we'll discuss, okay? So here's one item that was in James's donation.
Thank you, Bradshaw's studio. Michael, what about the gummy bears?
You mean the gummy bears of the show?
Yeah, I don't know. Either that or why don't you have a bag of gummy bears right now?
I don't have a bag of gummy bears right now. I did have some gumdrops, but I don't know what I did with them.
They got lost in the house.
Yeah, goody. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys know what this is, or if you don't, it's a later edition Masters of the Universe toy. This is the Mantisaur, which was sort of like Hordak's Battle Cat. It was his main ride. He-Man had Battle Cat, Skeletor had Panther, Fisto had Stridor, Jitsu had Night Stalker, Hordak had Mantisaur.
Yeah, that thing would terrify me.
Yeah,
running across
right?
the battleground. I just have one question. Does he sit facing forward, or how do they operate the tail gun here? The literal tail gun.
The tail gun. Yeah, it's like, does the Mantisaur operate that with his glutes? I wonder. Or would that be his, which part's the thorax? Is the top part the thorax? I don't know my insects real well.
Not well enough to make a gamble on that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. But you're right.
His name should be Zorak.
Yeah, how does he turn around?
Is it a male or a female? Because that's important to know.
Good question.
Mantis.
I don't know. But once I got it put together, this was a really kind of coolish toy. I mean, I gotta be honest.
Thank you, Jody.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, if you have any questions, call them out. I'm happy to answer questions as we go along. Just to answer one question I saw that I'm seeing in the chat a lot. No, I haven't seen Rise of Skywalker. Not yet, anyway. So you don't have to worry about me or anybody up here calling out spoilers or anything like that.
We wouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that anyway, but it wouldn't happen because I haven't seen it. So.
Although you do know everything that happens in it.
I do know a lot of what happens in it, but I do
because Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I do plan to see it, and I will let you guys know. It's funny, I'm doing a podcast tomorrow night.
That is funny.
On Clobberin' Time. Ha ha. And on the podcast, it's going to be kind of like the dollop, where the podcast host is going to tell me scene by scene what happens in the movie, and is going to get me to react to every scene.
That's going to be really hard to do. You don't have any thoughts about
I don't
Star
have any
Wars.
thoughts on Star Wars.
Michael's just going to sit there like,
Yeah.
Go on.
So.
And that was a yes on the Gummy Bear show. For the question about gummy bears, he was asking about the gummy bear show.
The show. Oh, yeah. We actually have, from a donation from Doug from a few years ago, we have some gummy bears figurines. But I haven't bought the show to watch yet. Disney makes it very difficult to get their animated TV shows from the past.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that I've seen that on Disney Plus. Maybe somebody out there who loves the show has seen it there.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
It's there.
In my mind, I remember that show came about because, is it Michael Eisner? Was he the one in charge of Disney at the time? That he was, like, his kids really loved gummy bears, and so he was like, let's make a show about gummy bears. Like, it was something that inane.
Yeah. I think we have a 10-pound super chat and a 25.
That was Jody.
Oh,
I
Jody.
believe, and
Oh, did we already read that one?
he didn't say anything.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
Jody, thank you for the super chat. Okay, I was just making sure. All right, to go with the Hordak piece inside this massive donation, he also had one of Hordak's troopers, which I'll put next to the Mantisaur if he'll stand up.
He might fall over.
He might fall over.
Nope, he's got it. Mantisaur's got his back.
But this guy was weird. He was supposed to have like a battle damage feature, I guess, where he kind of popped apart.
That's pretty disturbing.
Yeah, but then you would kind of prop him back together.
Oh, so it was kind of impact driven.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's just a soldier, like a stormtrooper type.
Punch him.
Yeah, pow. So there's that guy, which I didn't have. All right. Now, this is where we were looking at the stuff, and he pulls out this item, and I'm like, did you even play with this as a kid? Like,
all right, I can't wait. And I have not seen most of these.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that box.
Yeah, he's still got the box and everything with this. The GoBots Puzzler, brand new, never opened. Like, I think it's been opened, but he put it back in the styrofoam and everything. I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
So have you pulled that thing out, or is that
I haven't pulled anything out yet. I mean, please.
Oh no. I'm not going to disrobe this. Open it. All right, here we go.
Open it.
It's not every day you get to open it.
Aaron does have an affinity for Transformers. He just never collected many of them. He likes robots.
Yeah, I'm sort of the Harry Potter on this channel sometimes, in that, Michael's over here like, you're a wizard. There we go.
All right. So see, every single bot, they're all on the floor now.
And here I am trying to be super careful.
They're fine. They're good. Every single bot inside.
You hear it? That's quality.
Hilarious. Michael, can you make a big announcement for people to not post spoilers in the comments?
Oh yeah, don't post spoilers to Star Wars in the comments. We want everybody to feel like they can watch this show without getting
just
spoiled.
Just saying that because people are doing it and people are getting mad. So.
Don't do that, guys.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. But yeah, so these are the 6 cars for the GoBots Puzzler. Not the most impressive combiner when you compare it to like Devastator or something like that.
Yeah.
But you can tell that GoBots was trying to compete on some level, because I mean, just look at the rendering of that on the box. Like,
I try not to bump the mic.
It's kind of clunkerific. I mean, it's not,
just this image of this thing like,
I'm a bunch of cars.
You mean like Vehicle Voltron?
Vehicle Voltron looks a lot better than this thing. I'm the puzzler. Yeah, so we'll just set this.
I just feel like
it sounds like a Batman villain, doesn't it?
I guess we can put it back in the box.
The puzzler, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let me see if I can slide that in there without.
If you see any questions, just shout them out.
I'm kind of focusing on doing this.
Let's see. Don't be McClunky in the chat, guys. That's funny.
Yeah, that's good.
McClunky.
Ooh. It wants me to watch that on the television.
It's because the box is hitting.
You're not wrong, but there we go.
Would you have wanted a Tantive 4 Star Wars vehicle as a kid, whatever that means?
Yeah, I heard that the Tantive 4 Star Wars vehicle was under development. It was supposed to come out after Return of the Jedi's Power of the Force line in 1985. They pitched it as one of the vehicles they were going to come out with, and then they got rejected by Lucasfilm to even pursue anything like that. It would have been a neat idea, seeing as how it's the very first spaceship in the whole series that you see. Mm-hmm. But it's not the most kinetic starship. It's a consular ship on a diplomatic mission.
Scott says that he's surprised that thing didn't run afoul of the Voltron licenses.
Well, it's funny. You can't. I don't think there's a license on robots that combine into a big robot. It's just more about how the toy itself is engineered and what types of robots are combining that you can license.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got like a yellow arm and a blue arm and a black. It's like a lot of the same colors as the Lion Voltron, and then you've got like the car idea.
I just love the fact that the white car is conspicuously sticking out. The hood of it sticks out of his midsection there.
Yeah, I'd be pretty mad. and in the depiction, it almost looks like it's coming to pick you up from school. Like, I feel like it's got to be like a car line situation.
Wow.
Whoa, Sal, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, contributing to the toy fund. I know you've mentioned it before, but who's your favorite Joe? My favorite Joe is Flash, followed closely by Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Lady J, Stalker, and Storm Shadow. Also love Cobra Commander.
That's so all of them. You're a big fan of G.I.
Like
Joe
that,
in general.
all of those together is the next one on your list, or in that order.
I'm just grabbing a grouping of them.
Okay.
Character or toy. Most importantly, when someone says G.I. Joe, who is the first that comes to mind? The first G.I. Joes that come to mind for me are Flash, Snake Eyes, and Lady J. Those are the three that come to mind, and Scarlet.
There's a good question here. Do you think that GoBots will ever get a DVD release?
It has. GoBots does have a DVD release. That DVD release was done by the Warner Hanna-Barbera Archive Collection. You can get all 3 volumes. One's the movie, then volume 1 and 2 of the series. You can buy those on their Warner Archive website or on Amazon.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Saturday Morning Fan.
So let's see.
Mr. Funiverse says your favorite Joe is Shipwreck.
No, he's not. I do not like Shipwreck. Any favorite Christmas wishes, guys and gals? Any Christmas wishes? Well, I kind of want the Star Wars arcade machine from Arcade 1-Up. That would be my Christmas wish. Melinda, do you have one?
No.
Aaron?
Mine is probably the first thing that comes to mind is finally having some time to try to get my 3D printer back up and running. So that probably means all the little boring little parts I'm going to have to order.
Okay.
Little sticky insulators and things like that. But then from there, maybe I can generate some pretty cool things.
Goodwill to men.
Thanks, Tim. I knew you were going to do that. Tim said, peace on earth and goodwill towards men. I think we can all agree that would be nice.
And I guess women.
I would like some vegetarian gummy bears. That would be pretty good. That guy keeps saying gummy bears. It's just making me want them.
Yeah.
All right, does anyone know what this next toy is?
Nope.
Once
don't.
I put it on the table.
Okay.
I have to be more specific.
That is a cool looking beast.
Uh-huh.
Do the back of his knee, do his knees have eyes and teeth?
Yes.
That's handy.
It's disturbing.
It's good to have a little snack here.
Anybody know what that is?
No,
Yes, it is a GoBot. You are correct. It is the complete Monstrous, which was yet again another attempt by GoBots to follow the success of the Transformers combiners. So this was an insect, sort of monster-based combiner.
Can you imagine being these guys though? When he's joining, you just kind of have to like.
Yeah, I'm just pressing my chest up against his shoulders.
You think they talk to each other?
I know.
Like, hey, you doing over there, Joe?
How's it hanging?
Not too bad. My ribs hurt a little bit.
Chris. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
I was just saying, Chris, thank you for the super chat. Happy holidays. What is your favorite Star Wars arcade? I was a fan of Return of the Jedi. I really liked the original game from '83, the Star Wars vector-based arcade game. And I did play Return of the Jedi. Never saw Empire Strikes Back until the MAME emulator came out. Didn't even know that was a thing. But I love the whole X-Wing trench battle.
Did you get to do that in the big sort of enveloping system? Because I know there were a couple versions of it.
Yeah, there was the sit-down version, and then there was the stand-up arcade. The one I saw mostly in show business was the stand-up, and I had to go get a stool and play it.
Like Dreamland, the podcast, which I hear is pretty good. I had a favorite skating rink as a kid as well, and that was where I got to play that. Not as much as in the showbiz and things like that, but I had a pretty cool setup in there.
Yeah.
And we would always fight over who got to get into the trench run next.
Right.
So.
Now, there was the Sega one that was 2-player, and it had the big projection screen.
Yeah, I didn't get to try that.
Oh, okay. That was in like the late 90s. and it had much better graphics. Like, it wasn't vector based. It was like true.
They filled in the
it was true
spaces.
3D. Like the Death Star looms over you, and
that would be pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Kind of like the Afterburner was a revelation.
Yes. It was.
Maybe it didn't have the.
It did not have the hydraulics.
Gimbal.
Yeah, the gimbal, but it was like a big screen. Yeah, I played that a few times.
Now for the Return of the Jedi game, was that the one you said you didn't get to see? Was that also vector, or did they move more towards?
Empire was vector because it was an upgrade board for Star Wars. Return of the Jedi was its own dedicated new cabinet, and it was pixel based.
Okay.
And it was like isometric, and you kind of flew the speeder bikes through the trees, and then you flew the Falcon into the Death Star.
Sounds really familiar.
Yeah. Whoa, Chris, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Greetings and best holiday wishes from Baltimore. Love the videos and the podcast. What do you guys think would be the most awesome Star Wars playsets that have never been made? Bespin. Bespin playset, Cloud City, never been made. Fail.
So how would you support that? Would that hang from a ceiling, or would that have a stand for the table?
No, it's not.
Because part of the best thing about it was all that bit that dangled down from the bottom like a jellyfish. You know, think about all the stuff you could do there. Have Luke hanging.
You like that dongle? Like that?
I liked it. It was good.
No,
I like the idea of like the clouds being sort of like cotton balls, like sort of stuck around on the outside, like really ghetto fabulous.
I just want the interior. I just want the interior. Did you see the TMNT arcade machine? Yes, I did. I also saw that they changed the theme music, so it immediately didn't interest me because they cheaped out on the copyright. So, what?
Angle
of the Dangle. That's right. Night of Ren wins the live stream with Angle of the Dangle. All right.
We named our lives.
Somebody mentioned earlier that they wanted to see Michael Bay's version of the GoBots movie, and I wanted to know what you think that would look like as opposed to his Transformers movie. Would it be different or the same?
Who would they cast instead of Wahlberg?
I know.
At this point?
Come on. I really...
Oh my God. Sick, bro. They're like Transformers, but they're more like GoBots.
You just get Wahlberg again.
I don't know who's better, Leader 1 or Optimus Prime. Oh, man.
Is it a car? Is it an insect? Nobody knows.
What is this? That came out of the yeah, right?
That's an angry face.
This is the Masters of the Universe murder face. No, it's not what it's called.
Murder face.
It's like Skeletor's Walker.
Oh my God, your dad needs that, Michael.
So it locks down. I'm not sure if there was a piece. I don't think there was a piece here.
It almost looks like something did set.
Yeah, which means I need to look it up and see if there's something missing.
Well, it is old computer tech. Maybe that's where you put the punch cards in.
Blaster Hawk.
To program it.
Yes, it is the Blaster.
Blaster Hawk is what I see here from
Wilson. Yeah, I think this is the Blaster Hawk. Yeah.
Somebody says a train wreck.
This was a late stage Masters of the Universe vehicle from '87, I believe.
Yeah, but there's little footstands here, and it looks like there's
like a Segway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's a cool little piece. I never would have expected to own one. I didn't.
If it's as annoying on the battleground as a Segway would be.
Ah!
Whoa, sorry,
maybe it inspired the Segway.
Well, I mean, you have a whole other toy that you say looks like a gorilla on a Segway.
Wheeljack. Yeah, see, the thing about this is this was so late in the game with Masters of the Universe, we were already not collecting it by this point. I didn't even know this was around.
Steven asks, do you have the Road Ripper?
Yes, we do have the Road Ripper here in the studio. It's not part of this donation, but we do have it, yeah. What else? I saw something else.
This is one specifically for you. To Michael, I found the name of, this is from Albert Escobedo. I found the name of the Godzilla Bandai toy. You once mentioned interest in Great Monster Series Godzilla 1964.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Godzilla Bandai toy. Okay. Great Monster Series Godzilla 1964. Awesome. I will look into that.
James says that that's Laser Bolt, not Blaster Hawk.
This is Laser Bolt. That's right. You know why?
I can tell that was bothering you.
Yeah, that was a little weird. This is Laser Bolt, but the reason that confused me.
Please tell me you have Blaster Hawk.
Is because Blaster Hawk is right here as well.
Size does matter,
It's
apparently.
a sand crawler and a disintegrator.
Now the real
Thank you, Tim.
the real kick in the teeth about this one was that it shoots these discs, and unfortunately,
I miss those disc guns.
yeah, these big discs that load up in here.
Oh, those were like big versions.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had the other little ones that you would use for like laser tag or
Right.
something.
But the problem with this is I can't demo it, which I'd be totally willing to do because the actual trigger piece is missing. So the trigger piece, it's hard to see, but it's supposed to be up under here and pull this around. And the trigger piece has
So that would do the spin, like crank it and shoot it out.
yes, crank it and shoot it. I do not have the lever for the trigger.
I could see that breaking.
Come off the base too, Michael?
Yes, this does come off the base. And then the treads, it slides right back onto the treads.
Thank you, Scott. He says there's no reason a Bespin playset couldn't have been as tall as the Death Star, allowing the top floor to be used for the lightsaber fight and giving Luke a solid 2 feet of space to hang over. Huge missed opportunity.
Yes, that's a great point. Huge missed opportunity there. Chris, thank you for the super chat. I knew you'd say Bespin. Any others that would make great figure displays? I'm trying to think. I mean, it would have been nice back then to probably have, well, let's see. I should just turn around and look.
Yeah. Now he's just admiring it.
You know what I would have liked? I would have liked a Imperial bunker. I would have liked that from Endor.
Okay.
The Imperial bunker and possibly shuttle complex.
That would be cool because it could sit at the center and
Yeah.
everything could happen around it and go up over
Yes.
the top of it.
Yes. And a nuance of that would be, it would have been fun to have a Return of the Jedi Death Star playset as well. That would have been pretty neat as an offering, but we didn't get that either, which is fine. As I've always said, a Jabba the Hutt playset that's not just Jabba back then would have been nice, so that everybody could have been integrated because they made so many of the characters.
Yeah.
I would have preferred that more than a sail barge because the playset could have incorporated a space for the Rancor underneath. So it would have had more playability.
Kind of like Cloud City, you could have had that 2-story feel to it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Can you set that over on that corner of the table?
I certainly can.
Thank you, sir.
It is a bit
Chris
challenging.
Canmore says Dreamland Podcast is the best. Thank you, Chris. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's see. Also working on the Jabba's Palace. Yeah, I agree, Keith. Jabba's Palace. Yeah. Thoughts on
Turkey listener wants to know, will there be a clobbering time with RetroBlasting episode on Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I just announced that on the Facebook page, and that is going to be tomorrow. The episode will be recorded live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The gimmick is going to be is that Mike Alonso from the Clobberin' Time podcast has seen the movie. I have not. And so like the dollop format, he's going to tell me the movie scene by scene, and I'm going to react and provide commentary to what he tells me. So it should be a fun time if you've already seen the movie. If you haven't already seen the movie, don't listen to the podcast yet.
Unless you don't care.
Unless you don't care, right. Let's see. Thoughts on Funko Netflix Dark Crystal action figures. If they're the ones that are kind of like the recreated figures, I'm not sure if they're from the new series or the old one. I'm sure they'd be great. I'm not real interested in Funko Pop Dark Crystals, but I'm just not interested in Pops. But if you're talking about the little figures, that'd be cool. I'd love to see some of those. Okay. Oh, this is an oldie but a goodie. We have a cloud car.
Speaking of
Bespin,
something you could accessorize with that playset.
the Flying Brazier.
I think it looks more like 2 little wooden shoes.
Don't go for second
It feels so
best,
Dutch now.
baby.
Is this the kind of thing you would leave out at Easter? And
I know,
be
right?
Filled with jelly beans.
Oh man, the cloud car, of course, often has its hatches lost, and this one's no different.
Yeah.
But this toy is otherwise tough as nails. I mean, you can't really break it. It's solid. Let's see.
Let's see here. 1980s and Star Wars guy says, yeah, but if they made a Bespin, there's a 90% chance it would have come with a Han Solo and Carbonite, so Slave 1 would have came with a cargo hold with nothing to put in it.
Oh,
Interesting
because
thought.
the Carbonite Han would have come with the Bespin playset.
Right.
Well, or what they do is they simply give you. Well, no, that's true. All right, that's a good point. But
Just food for thought.
But I think it would have been more interesting I think Slave 1, because of Boba Fett's connection, would have still sold well regardless. And then having that cargo space in there generically that you could also put, whoa, what's going on there?
Nothing.
That you could also put the Carbonite Han in from the Bespin playset would be fine.
What just happened?
Our video blinked. I don't know if it did for you guys. We're all recovering. It was very scary.
It's the acid.
Sounds like Jody says, sounds like Aaron needs some lessons about Dutch shoes. P.S.
Probably.
I am Dutch.
I don't know how I managed to insult you. I'm sorry.
Good job, Aaron.
Yeah, just leave it to me. I'm in timeout now.
Let's. All right. Let's see. Midnight's Edge. Whoa, Midnight's Edge is here. Hey, it's great to see you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying hello to me when I was listening to your live stream the other day. Thank you. Love your channel. Thank you so much for showing up here for a little bit. And
he literally geeked out and came upstairs like, "Oh my God!"
I really like what Midnight's Edge does. I think they're very thorough. I like their encyclopedic and kind of forensic look at the film industry and the way they do they don't just, always read other people's articles. They actually distill information from sources and every other location they can get it, and then they conjecture about what might happen. They kind of do these video essays.
Yeah,
So is Tom the guy is he Swedish or is he Norwegian?
Andre? He's
Andre.
Nordic.
Andre.
Yeah, he's Norway.
Okay.
Norway, yeah. Great channel.
Tom is the one who is on here right now. So
Yeah, Tom is Andre's co-host.
Gotcha.
And they just run a great show over there. Just a great show. All right, let's see. Oh, here's one. Look at this.
Love that hammer. That is blue.
He is
that blue.
He is very blue.
He seems extra blue.
Mi pollo es muy azul.
He's very sad.
I'm sorry.
Simon, yeah, I enjoy the Critical Drinker as well. He's really good. Let's see. So yeah, this is the Bengali Thundercats figure. He's from the second wave, really, or second or third wave. Can't remember exactly when. He's from the end of the line, and he's one of the more desirable yet hard to find Thundercats. And he's complete with his hammer. He's in great shape.
He is.
He's only got one little.
He's
one
like,
little
thanks, I've
scuff.
been working on my quads.
He's got a little scuff on his rumpus.
His bum's a little bruised there.
But other than
But you
that,
can't tell because he's blue.
I mean,
you, Tim.
he's in really good shape. I mean, it's just amazing to see this stuff come out of a surviving childhood collection. So yeah, I'm just looking at they made Cats action figures. Is that Victoria? No, it's Bengali. Ace Frehley from Kiss. That's funny.
Wow.
No, he's not from Kiss. He's a Thundercat.
Same thing.
If you set him over there.
I will. So this switch on his back, does that actuate his
Yep.
arms? Okay.
Mhm, yep, just push it.
I'm not
No, go ahead. It works.
Rebecca wants to know the story behind the name RetroBlasting.
That is an excellent question.
The name RetroBlasting came from the fact that we were trying to come up with a name that wasn't going to pin us down as far as subject matter, like toy or cartoon or movie. We wanted to feel free to do all of that. And while retro has kind of been overused in the years since then, we felt like at the time it was a way to do that. And because my personality is often grumpy and sarcastic, I felt like sometimes I would kind of pummel the subject that I was talking about. So blasting, I thought, was...
But you're not always putting things on
No,
blast.
I'm not always.
Like
but
recently, you've been blasting out content.
blasting out content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like
I
that.
get a raise.
So, all right, let's see what we have here. Oh, wow. Check this out.
Thunder Kiss.
Check this out. Okay, so by the power of knockoffs.
Yeah, that looks so...
All right, I did some research into this guy
It's like the Nightmare Before Christmas.
when he came out of the box, okay? This is a generic
Oh, no, I made
it's fine. It's a generic trying to ape off the He-Man fad. And it's called
I can't make him stand up.
he's called,
It's tough the day after leg day. Stand up.
Yeah, he's just like...
He's called it. I found out he's from a line called Galaxy Fighters.
Sit on the toilet, you can't get.
That's exactly what's happening right now. He kind of looks like a Uruk-hai.
Someone said Cheech Marin action figure. This is not Galaxy Warriors, it's Galaxy Fighters, which was very close. And this character, brace yourselves, is called Mace Ape.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's unfortunate.
Now, the thing about it is he was also supposed to come with an axe, but the axe is AWOL. But he still has his shield and his armor, which is really impressive. These knockoffs, or I shouldn't say knockoffs, but
Like
derivative low-rent action figures are very popular and collectible by a lot of collectors, especially He-Man, Thundercats people. They love these.
Yeah, he looks very precisely molded and
Yeah.
modeled. But there is something, I don't know if it comes through, but the plastic they used for his arms and legs feels and looks different than the plastic for his torso.
Yes.
So that's just not something you'd see kind of on a higher tier.
Right,
line
yeah,
of toys
exactly, yeah.
Often.
Yeah, that is weird that Mace Ape came with an axe, not a mace, but I looked it up. It's very
Good call,
strange.
Trish.
I agree. Very strange.
Mace Ape has a cat o' nine tails.
And you're right.
And a weird twist.
You're right, Wilson. It should be Axe Ape. That's what it should be. Although, by today's standards, that means he wears a lot of deodorant.
Yeah.
So,
He's kind of like a Pez dispenser.
Well, a guy
for
with that many
smelling
muscles
good.
probably is wearing Axe body spray.
yeah, I'll just, I'll put him with the cloud car. Okay. All right, next up. Oh, okay.
It's a bird.
So,
And bird.
so we. What?
I like the idea that he just sort of, oh, nice. I just kind of imagine him like swooping in and stealing your pencil.
See, I'm remembering that whole Kevin Hart thing where he was staring at the moth.
Yeah.
Just like obsessed with it.
Yeah, this is. So they love to repurpose and repaint figures in the Masters of the Universe line. So
You watching me on the screen? That's it.
so He-Man.
Or like Napoleon Dynamite, the song's playing.
I wish that would replace cell phones at concerts, you know.
Everybody just, did you say what the name of this was?
It's
yet?
called Screech.
Okay, so I thought you were just describing it. I'm sorry.
So
The
we
new
do have a
character.
Screech action figure.
Whoa!
The character from Saved by the Bell, everyone. Screech.
No, so they would repurpose the paint jobs of
majestic.
the action figure. So like in Masters of the Universe, you had Battle Cat, and then they repainted or reflocked him purple, and he became Panther. This was Zoar, who was blue and orange, and then they gave him to Skeletor, painted him blue and purple, and made him Screech. What is going on over there?
I think she's okay.
Somebody's having a seizure.
She's taking the microphone off. So I'm guessing that was meant to perch on someone's shoulders.
Right, so we'll have him ride Mantisaur for now.
That tail gun's never going to get shut.
I'm just going to say from now on, Aaron has to play with every toy you put out of the box.
So
Thank
go.
you, Scott.
We missed a super chat. We missed a
Let's go.
1999 super chat. Let's see.
Here we go.
Chris, this is a question for the Brain Trust. What was your favorite Christmas special as a child? The more obscure, the better. For example,
Michael's
the
got a good
Raccoons and the
one.
Lost Star was one I remember as a child. I love the life and adventures of Santa Claus. It was a stop motion sort of Rankin Bass puppet one.
But it wasn't Rankin Bass.
It was Rankin Bass,
It was,
but it was
okay.
one of the last ones they did, and it is the.
When they were bitter.
It was like Lord of the Rings. Like
Yeah.
it was Santa Claus versus these demon pixies and stuff. Like it was just crazy. What is so funny?
She's just really happy.
Screech Mary.
Melinda's laughing about the Screech Marin comment, which, by the way, is really funny. But wow, I can't seem to get her to.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm good.
You're good.
So did Santa like have a special power? Where there's there fighting involved?
He
in
was
this?
just, you saw him born and carried to be raised in like this.
I want to know
little
where Santa
wood-
got his powers. is what
He
I'm
got his
trying to
powers from this thing called the Great Ack, who was like this Gandalf with like gazelle antlers, and then he
Like
becomes
Tim from Monty Python.
Yeah,
and
and
he's shooting bottle rockets out
it's
of his hand.
dude, it is off the chain, as they would say today. Life
Do you
in
own this?
yes,
We have to
on
watch
DVD.
this.
You got to do it for the podcast.
Maybe that's the podcast we need to do.
The
Just
life,
like
This
a
time.
late audible call
Just
on that
the
one.
Well,
life and
because-
adventures of Santa Claus is lit. Like it is.
So we were literally going to watch.
And Scott, yes, you're right. That is a repainted eagle from the Big Jim line. Yes, you're correct. What's that?
No, we were gonna watch like the topic of the next Dreamland right after we're done with this, so we could just change what we watched. To
Right.
Watching that.
Right. No, that's
That
true.
Sounds cool.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go.
And guys, there are so many good questions here. We are not ignoring you. We're just
Oh, is somebody feeling ignored?
no, not at all.
Okay.
I'm just reading through some of these, and I'm like, wow, there's lots of good questions. We'll
Yeah.
try to get back to some of them.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, if we missed your question, sorry, they're flying in fast and furious, but we're not trying to ignore you. So just repeat the question without getting frustrated, and hopefully we'll see it. Okay. Okay. This.
Okay. I don't know how to play with that. It's like oh, dropping bombs. Sorry about that.
That's fine. This is the.
So, what did he start out as?
I really enjoy the idea that Aaron was like this as a kid.
It's not far from the truth.
He's just
So,
looking at it
okay,
going,
so-
so what is this supposed to be?
I know it's kind of supposed to be an airplane.
All right. So the idea behind this was the GoBots Guardian Power Suit.
Okay, so it looks
And-
like things fit here. Like you
Yes.
can put characters.
I
in
am
each
going
piece.
to get up now to demonstrate. So I'm
Just what we
getting up.
need is a drinking game right now.
All right. So
Aaron now has to play with every toy going forward.
That's too much pressure, Tim.
all right.
I'm
so,
terrified that I'm going to be playing with somebody's favorite childhood toy, and they're going to be like, "That's not how you do it."
Keith, hopefully Aaron is a Seinfeld toy.
What is this for?
so this is a standard GoBot. So
Yep.
what you would do?
So you're
for-
putting a robot that can be a jet into a jet.
into a jet.
Okay.
It doesn't make a lot
It's
of
very
sense.
meta.
But
Mhm.
like
I like that. That
But
is
you kind of.
I feel like I'm watching the Home Shopping Network of retro toys.
So you kind of you have them in these sort of like power suit modules.
You know, that's really nice.
It doesn't work real well, but they kind of, occupy each.
So it's kind of also a carrier, right? So
Yeah.
you can bring a bunch of them over to a friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
Have this in your duffel bag.
I don't know how well it would hold up in a duffel bag.
Well, I mean,
But
yeah,
it's-
that would be, especially now, it's brittle.
Midnight tease, and Aaron's mind is blown.
Yeah.
So can you put a character that's not already a jet into this?
So is this like Benny and the Jets?
Wow.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. We've totally gone off the rails at this point.
Sorry.
And with that,
But we're going to keep going off these rails.
all right. Okay. Oh, this might be. You know what? I have a feeling this is something, Aaron, that you were probably intrigued by as a kid that I wasn't. But we'll just see. All right. So.
The Indigo Show says, looks like a hodgepodge. All right.
Yeah, that pun
Oh,
was
no, I
terrible.
do
That's why I
remember
like it.
these. I remember these opened, but I don't like forcing things.
Anybody know what those are? Taking all bets.
Do I eat it? I know what these are.
Like I saw the label. I
Yeah,
know.
it's not labeled. I know what these are.
So these are micro machines. They are micro machine play sets from 1988, I believe. And the cool part about some of these are very straightforward. Like this right here is an aircraft carrier that
Right.
would have carried all the vehicles inside. And
Did anyone else, when you had a bunch of these, do you remember Trapper Keepers? We used to stick these down into the little folder
Oh,
sleeves
really?
in the Trapper Keeper to like get them to school and get them home safely.
Really?
Yeah, we did. Obviously we couldn't just pull one of these out in the middle of
Right.
third grade or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. But that really
Right.
works. So we'd have like our little Lamborghini Countach, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
And then we would trade them like playing cards, you know.
Oh,
for
really?
instance,
So you
and
guys
things like that.
traded them?
Well,
See,
then there were fist fights and things degraded from there, but that was the general idea of the game.
See, I was never, like, beyond Hot Wheels, I was never into the super miniature. Like this right here, this is supposed to be a gas additive can, and it's supposed to open up and turn into...
Yeah, I was trying to pull this one out because
oh, look, see, look, this turns into a... Looks like a gas station or something.
That is just cool. Like, have we done anything with Micro Machines?
Not yet.
Video
Not yet.
It seems pretty ripe for.
We're going to, I'm sure. But see, like that's a gas station with the awnings over it, and I bet you that one opens. That distributor cap opens up too.
It looks like it hinges out here. Something like that.
And
here.
and then there's something inside.
I was afraid you were proposing to me.
I bet. No. No, I think this pulls out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
it's
so
like the
this
full
it's like a
mechanic set.
Yeah, mechanic
and
set.
This one, if I'm not mistaken, turns into a play set.
I
You
think
can
those pop those apart.
Yeah,
slide those apart. You want me to do it?
Yes,
There you go.
just like that. You just pull it right apart.
And then so
There we
these
go.
are
Oh, and this has got the other gas station signs. The microwave antenna for point-to-point data transfer, so your credit card transactions can go through.
so these must have been accessories for a city. Mm-hmm. Oh, and look, if you flip them over, they become the roads. I bet you that they're pegs on the bottom here, so that this becomes a.
And kind of in cool fashion, along the edges of these, you can see they still have these grooves. So as you got, like if you had friends who had these, you could put more of them together.
To make like a super city.
Yeah, to make a big
Yeah,
base.
because see, look, that's where the hospital mounts, and then. Yeah.
And this is some debris because it's Mad Max. That's how I would do it.
Oh, there's some more. There's some more pieces down here of various buildings, and this looks like that goes right there, actually.
Focus on hospital here.
That's a hospital, and this is someplace.
It's a firehouse. This is where I would get my sandwiches.
Firehouse subs, founded by firemen. No, we're not paid to say that. All right, let's see. This is a question for Michael. For the 4K 77 and 4K 83, should I get the DNR version or the no DNR version? It depends on your personal preference. DNR is digital noise reduction, which is something that you can overcrank or apply tastefully. And if you want something that looks like a professionally finished Blu-ray, you probably want the DNR version because these guys at 4K or Team Negative One didn't overdo it. But if you're somebody that just doesn't like that at all and you want more of a true print scan with all the grain and everything.
Like a gritty look
yes,
at it. With
like
all
a gritty.
of the aging and everything. So
Right.
not just the film grain, but some of the age and scratches.
Right.
DNR was actually kind of a blessing when it was first invented. I mean, it basically just took 2 frames of a video and said what changed that wasn't part of the video. So
Right.
like what suddenly appears in a frame. And when it sees something like that, it would use a previous frame or some number of previous frames to just guess what was behind that scratch. Now, like everything in life, that has a dial. And recently, kind of like with music, how this all seems to be getting louder and louder and louder until every song is the same volume. People recently have started just cranking that way up, and it kind of gives
And
this
filters
sort
on Instagram.
and it, like filters on Instagram, it kind of gives it this cartoony looking, like cell animated almost feel.
Right.
And so, you know, I trust the folks over there to have set that kind of at a reasonable number. And again, it's a personal taste thing, but that is a case of like just a good thing that kind of went a little too far.
Right. And so I would say that the DNR version, I have both of them, DNR and no DNR. We've watched the DNR. They're quite nice, but they still retain that detail level. I would get the DNR version if I were you, Juan. That's what I would do. DNR, you can't go wrong with that because it'll mean when you see it, it won't be so shockingly grindhouse. You know, it'll be much more finished. Somebody asked me about Bespin Luke blonde or brown hair. I'm more of a brown hair Bespin Luke kind of guy because that's what I grew up with as a kid, and I just liked the more realistic color.
So is film grain kind of like that record scratch for some people?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's almost like they it's like, not, I wouldn't say hipstery, but it's sort of just a comfortable thing that you either like or you don't like.
And this version still has plenty of film grain, even with the DNR.
Yeah.
Like there's still,
Which means they put that at a reasonable.
Yeah,
setting.
they finessed it.
Thank you,
Jody,
Jody.
thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Let's see.
Do you guys remember the Micro Machines announcer from the ads?
I do remember. Yeah, Micro Machine.
Yeah, and he would just read these ridiculously long statements and speak incredibly fast.
Yeah.
I just wanted to remember him for a second. That's all.
Let's see. Have you guys ever gotten Mythic Legends from Four Horsemen or Mythic Legions from Four Horsemen Studios? I don't have any of those, not yet. Be interested to see them though. All right, let's see here. Oh, hey.
There's still half a tub over there, folks.
I know, it's crazy. All right. Oh, look, might as well just bring this guy out.
Oh yeah, the barn.
The Micro Machines.
This is a toolbox.
It's a toolbox that turns into an entire world.
That one's got too much going on.
Yeah, you just want to set it off to the side
Yeah.
since we've already done the Micro Machines thing.
Might have to unfold that in a video.
Right. As a matter of fact, I just found the cars. And Aaron goes crazy. I'll move these out of the way so that you can see the cars.
Oh man, it's been so long since I played with these. That one's problematic.
No, pull them all out. Put them in the
yeah.
jar.
I'm gonna get something else.
I've already zoomed in on the table, so now I'm looking at nothing.
No. All the off ramps for jokes
Wow.
with that car went.
There you go. You right here.
Somebody totally died in that collision.
We had a seismic event.
Michael, yes, I am a fan of Robert E. Howard's Conan stories. They are incredible. Let's see.
I can't see that one, Aaron.
What modern franchise do you think is a great alternative to vintage franchises? Let's see. Modern franchise that's a great alternative to vintage franchises. I do love, up until the fourth film, I did love the Bourne films. I thought the Bourne films were great. Trying to think.
And just because, I'm going to put the Lamborghini on here.
I loved Lord of the Rings, although that's technically not modern anymore. That's almost 20 years old now, shockingly.
It's like Muscle Men. Just, you have a Ziploc bag full of them. Yeah, I thought the Bourne movie started extremely strong.
Yeah, they did.
Just a great combination of soundtrack and if you've ever tried to go back and read the books, they're very different from the movies. So I bet there could be a very spirited debate about which was better, which one
Right.
you prefer. But they were kind of all over the place.
Let's see. All right. Well, we'll go into the bin.
Oh, you had the cute little Lambo in red. Yeah, we've got the silver one out here. I think I had the black one.
You know what that is?
Yes, I don't know the name, but I kinetic memory of this and being frustrated by not remembering how to open it.
Is that a Rock Lord?
It's a Rock Lord.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
that's great. Open it.
Open it. Okay.
I don't want to break it. In a weird way, vintage toys are kind of like secret club handshakes. You hand one to somebody and you're like, oh, you're not in.
Let's see. So that comes. Yes. That I think. Is that it? Is that with his big cod piece?
That's his belly. I mean, he had a lot to eat. He's always got two opinions about everything, this guy.
I mean, I thought Rock Lords.
He doesn't do anything. I mean,
I thought Rock Lords were neat, though. I mean,
they were, and the idea that they would just turn into these.
I like how
boulders.
his toenails are painted a festive color. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's blood. He's been kicking trash.
Same thing. I mean, when I paint my toenails, that's what I'm
You
going
paint
for.
them with blood.
Well, I'll tell you
blood of
something.
my enemies.
Shogun Trooper, you say, why make a transforming rock? What kid wants to play with a rock? I agree with you on the surface, but I'll tell you.
You can do a lot of damage with a rock, let me tell you.
I'll tell you, if you had an Indiana Jones figure, he finally had something to run from. And that was pretty exciting. And not a real rock that could really, scuff him up if he got hit. But I used my Rock Lords with my Indiana Jones figures a lot. And then they'd transform into something. And what is going on?
Trish is like, dang, Melinda.
Let's see. Yes, Lone Ranger
What'd I
is
say?
awesome. Let's see. Is there ever a chance Aaron and Melinda will ever do a live Dreamland podcast?
Yes.
I would say yes.
There is
There's
a
definitely a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. Don't stop believing.
It'll be a fully musical episode.
Oh no! I did not set myself up well to fight that one.
Because that's the only way I could get Aaron to do it without editing all the singing.
And it will be about musical episodes.
Did they ever make the female Rock Lord into a toy?
I don't know if they made the female Rock Lord into a toy. I have to look back at. I don't know the characters all that well. I'll have to look back and see. Does anyone recognize this little guy?
It will not be like the Cats movie.
Ooh, what is that? I like
He
that.
looks like a lion and also an egg.
That's true.
I am the Eggman.
Anybody know what this is? That's right. Knight of Ren got it. These are meteorbs from the Masters of the Universe line.
Can you turn him just slightly toward camera to fit? There, that's perfect.
Yeah, he is a lion that turns into a meteor. Like they come down from space onto Eternia and then turn into various creatures. And
So he's hanging out in the savannah, and he's like, "I'm gonna meet," and he's like,
right. It was part of Masters of the Universe trying to incorporate a Transformers-like toy into their lineup to keep kids interested. And I think the Rock guys actually came into that as well, the Rock Warriors. But yeah, it was a neat idea.
And it was brought to you by the Egg Council.
Wow.
true fact, many of these are now full of silly putty.
All right, let's see.
That actually would have been great.
Yeah,
You like 3 toys in one.
yeah, silly putty, a meteor, an egg,
Egg.
The Turtle Cycle is
I was
here.
gonna say that looks like Ninja Turtles.
That is the Ninja Turtles Turtle Cycle.
It's the color scheme.
It's the color scheme. It's the fact that Turtle is on the license plate. He's got the vanity tag. And then the Centurion style Oscar Oscar the Grouch garbage can front. There's something kind of Mad Max about this.
Yes.
So you take an old New York style garbage can, cut it in half, make a platform,
And make it a platform for your sidecar. Yeah.
But what would did they joust with it?
He nunchucked at speed.
Oh, that's amazing.
He clotheslined you with a katana sword.
Michael, are you nunchucking at speed again?
Yeah. Good point, Lyle Convoy. These are often missing the rubber net on the top, the kind of rubber headlight with the rubber band on it that would fling Turtles Ooze if you bought it. My brother's example here in the studio still has that on the handlebars. Never, even with the original rubber band on it, it's never fallen off.
Wow.
Yeah. Jonathan was just like that. He didn't.
I mean, you'd have to armor all the rubber band or something.
He never touched it.
To keep it
He
from
never
getting brittle.
touched it. It was crazy.
Saturday
don't
Morning
armor all your
Fan
toys.
says, yes, female Rock Lord Solitaire had a toy, but she's high priced now.
Oh, okay. Which means Melinda will want that after this
That's
is
correct.
over.
I definitely
Yes.
want it, but I want one that I'm allowed to play with, unlike the ones that Michael currently has in the studio.
You are allowed to play with whatever you
The
want
last
in
time
the
I
studio.
tried to transform, he was like, oh, give me that. You're going to break it.
You guys don't know the stress of taking one of these Transformers and trying to. And
Oh my
Michael's
God.
around, right? So he's like, no, it's cool. You'll do fine. And in the meantime, he's kind of like,
You know what?
Watching you out of the
Eyeballing.
side
You know what?
eye.
I don't need any more rumor mongering that I'm some awful individual.
No, no one's saying
saying
you're
that.
awful. It's just that those are your personal ones from when you were growing up. So I want one that I can, if I break it.
Fine.
then-
You know what? We're gonna go out and find 2 high-priced solitaires. one for the display case and one for Melinda.
Sounds like a great plan.
All right. Let's see. Oh, hey. It's the toy Lou Scheimer hated more than life itself.
Oh
What could it
boy,
be?
I know what it is. It's the Ball Busters.
that one is in great shape.
Uh-huh. Do you remember this toy?
I remember it from the discussion about Lou Scheimer.
Yes. Yes.
Can we see it in action, Michael?
Oh, go ahead.
No,
No,
okay.
press the button.
That's
Here,
not.
put your hand right here.
That's unfortunate. Wow.
That's a good trick to play on your friends, kid.
Oh my god. So
You'll never
yeah,
see it coming.
this toy ended up being called the Bashosaurus, and Lou Scheimer had it demoed for him at the Mattel offices, and he said, "I'm never putting this in the cartoon." At the time, they were calling it the Ball Breaker or something like that, and he
That's
said,
terrible.
"He said, no, I'm not putting this in the show."
Did marketing departments back then ever try their names out. Like, I have this rule that if you're going to name something, you have to get into a crowded elevator and say the name out loud.
They tried them.
And see if anyone
Trish
starts
says,
laughing.
Ball tapper.
I mean, it's
just
called.
flick it a
It's
little
called.
bit.
It's called the. It's now called. Officially, it's the Bashosaurus, but according to Lou Scheimer,
It has a Saurus face on it.
they were calling it something different at the time, and he was like, "No, I'm not putting this on the show."
I could actually see like you setting up like a horde of attackers and having just this one thing kind of walk out and bam, knock them all down like.
I bet you
bowling
this
pins.
toy was super fun to play with.
Yeah.
You know, I never had it growing
Like
up.
if
but-
you had a sister with Barbie.
yeah,
you just-
wham, just yeah. I mean, it's a pretty, and also like all the Masters of the Universe vehicles, it's built solid. Like this thing ain't going anywhere. You know, like it can really. What is going on? What is so fun? No.
We're getting a lot of great extra names for this, guys. We're going to write all these down. We'll get back to you on if any of these are approved. But yeah, everybody's got really great ideas, Michael. They're doing a great job.
Demo suggestions, all kinds of stuff.
I love this. I love this comment from this guy. This is too long. I have no idea what this video is about. Some toy line. Goodbye. It's like it's a live stream. We're just talking about a donation we got.
Yeah,
Jeez.
He pulled the pin.
Lio Convoy, thank you for the super chat. I have a friend that uses the name Mutant Fist Pounder as a term for his member. He has successfully used it in pickup phrases somehow.
Wow.
I'm glad he got you to read that.
I mean, that's subversive, you guys.
Yeah, that was.
I'm trying to envision a guy
Stealth
coming up to
100.
you like in a bar and saying something with that phrase in it.
I don't like any of the off ramps.
That's a hard pass.
I don't see any hope at this exit.
Yes, that was intentional.
How do you pick Michael up in a bar? Talk about fisto.
All right, look
Did
at
you
this.
say Fisto?
I think
Cocaine is a hell of a
we've
drug.
all seen this on a recent episode of The Mandalorian. It is an original Kenner Star Wars Imperial troop transport, missing a few parts. What is go?
Don't even try to figure out what's happening over there.
Wow.
I'm with Patricia here. Next toy.
So yes, this is the troop transport from 1979 from Kenner.
This is turning into Baron's chat for my WoW players.
This vehicle has the record player mechanism in it that I was talking about with the Knight Rider car.
When it rains, it pours.
That's right.
Does this one work?
No, I don't think so. This one needs some TLC.
We got to get to the bottom of that.
But this made its first appearance finally in Rebels.
Oh my god.
What, Jody? Really?
Oh my god. Nuh-uh.
What?
Jody says 2 Rock Lord Solitaires are now ordered for you from eBay. One for Michael and one for Melinda.
Oh my
So-
god.
Let
so
me
I
speak
wanna-
for them. That was totally unnecessary.
So
That really
I want to
was,
tell you.
but
I want to
that's
tell you about.
super
I want to tell you about my friend Jody. So Jody and I have known each other online for several years now, and Jody is
Clearly very awesome.
he's an awesomely insane kind of
Yes.
guy.
Black
and-
Chandelier Mirage. Jody is a hero.
Jody has actually acquired some Robotech items, unbeknownst to us, that we were looking for, some Starcom drones, and a number of other things. He's just a very generous person. So, Jody, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but I will make sure that they get lots of love and coverage on the Instagram and the Twitter and all that kind of stuff. People really love seeing that. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Jody is a hero. Jody is one of the heroes of this channel, and
Michael, I think it was a Christmas miracle.
Really? I guess that's true. All right, let's see.
You're just totally like.
I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
1 + 1
Thank
is
you, Jody. Appreciate it.
Carry the 3. Okay, next.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I know that we've got some figures down here, some Ninja Turtles, some other stuff. A lot of the stuff is stuff you've already seen before on the channel. There is one item here that I thought was pretty interesting that I wanted to show. It is a. I'm running out of room here.
Yeah.
It is an April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles line, but she has an interesting feature. I think this is I don't know if this is the transition or if this is the culmination, but just to show you, the Turtles label on her back is a physical sticker. It is not printed onto the figure. So I'm going to get up here for a second.
She's just staring off into space.
It's like she's.
All right, so that's a good example.
So this is an example of mine from when I was a kid. This is my childhood one.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible her waist piece will explode because she's actually not held together very well. There we go. And then this one right here is the very first edition Ninja Turtles April. And you can see that they both have... I'm not near the microphone.
The first edition definitely has the red hair.
Right.
Second edition looks like they moved to a mic.
Yeah, and
that one.
the
Blue stripe on the pants.
Yeah, and then this last one right here has a sticker rather than it printed on, and so I keep wondering, is that what they ended up doing? Is just giving out stickers rather than printing it on the back? I can't imagine they would go from this to this to this. I would think they would go.
Well, and also, what other toy line would they have repurposed this mold for?
Right.
Like, why would you then not want to do the painting?
Right.
Or,
Unless it was just a price issue. It was cheaper to print a sticker than it was to print it on the back.
I guess.
Airbrush it. So.
Yeah, that is a weird choice to go with a sticker. Maybe that would give you the option, because I think, when you first meet April in the story, it's not like she's got a Turtles printed on her back for no apparent reason. It would give you a choice then, like she just met them or not. Or also, you could just put that on your Trapper Keeper or something else. If you had that option with the sticker, you could use it somewhere else. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Knights of Ren. They got lazy. Don't think too hard about
You're
this.
probably right, Knights of Ren. They probably did get lazy.
But yeah, that was a tour de force of different versions of the April there, Michael.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was even, I've heard there's another version. Like
a fourth
there's a
edition.
fourth. I've heard there's a fourth variation of this April. But
Sounds
I've
like
never
a great documentary. You could call it The Fourth April. Right?
instead of April
serious.
instead of April the 4th.
You could get Werner Herzog to do the narration for it. I can't do a good Werner Herzog impression, or else I would right there.
All right, so I'm going to bring out, I don't know where are we for time on this? I guess we're kind
It's
of at time.
3:07.
All right, I'm bringing out the piece de resistance of this donation, which I didn't
Would
even
you say
know.
the coup de grace?
The coup de grace of this donation. There were a lot of Ninja Turtles figures and accessories that are very common, but this is... April needs to ride the ball buster. All right, fine. We'll just do that.
We can make that happen.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Not sure that was a good move, but
Yeah, I don't know if that was.
not sure. There's lots of different ways.
Hey,
that
you know
could be.
what? If it's a simple request, I could.
It was a simple request.
Well,
it just
that-
meant what it is on the surface.
All right, so here's the donation that blew me away. I didn't know what it was. It blew me away in the research and
Here, I'm
figuring
gonna
out.
make room for this.
Okay.
There we go. Whoa.
You're gonna need to slightly turn that.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Wow, he's getting set up. We'll get you a better angle.
Okay, so if anybody recognizes this, it was a revelation to me.
Let's see if anybody does recognize it.
Yeah, let's keep an eye here. A printer. We have one guess for a printer.
Yep.
It does look like a little Epson printer.
It
Nice.
is on some level metal. Some of it is metal.
Like actually-
Lio Convoy, yes.
Because that looks vac painted. This
Lio
right here.
Convoy is correct. This is Bioman. This is an original Bandai Godaiken Bioman toy. Now, it does come with the carrier, which is the Bio Dragon. And the way this works is the carrier opens up.
Oh, dude, the ramp.
And then inside are Bioman 1 and 2, which are the jets, right? So they even have their own insets.
I mean, it's so detailed. It even has like a little cradle to hold the Biojet 2 in place.
Yep.
I mean, that is dedication. There.
Yeah, Japanese precision. And then if you take...
Lio Convoy is very excited about this.
Yeah, now, unfortunately, this is missing some parts. It's missing the fists, it's missing the sword and shield, and it's missing the back door of the Bio Dragon, which... But again, as something... And he's still looking for some of the parts, so James might come back around with some more parts later, but...
it is in amazing condition.
Yeah. From what's there is unbroken. The Thunder Robots, thank you so much for the super chat. The April with the orange boots and belts. Yes, I do have that one as well. It's a great variation.
You have another super chat up
And
above
Logan, thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas, RetroBlasting. Best Christmas memory. Best Christmas memory?
It was probably the, I mean, obviously the whole family being together and all of this.
Oh.
Share time with each other.
We're talking about swag. We want swag.
I really loved getting the Fact Xanadu video game one Christmas. Because I remember I was in Alabama. We never got a white Christmas. It snowed that day.
Right.
I got that. I got a telescope. It was a really great kind of banner day for me.
Yeah. What about you, Melinda?
I always struggle with that question because I don't remember any specific toy that was like, I remember the ones where I was like disappointed more than I remember the best. So
don't let that happen.
I'm sure it was something related to My Little Pony, but I can't. Maybe the one where I got the rain, like the one where it showers down on like.
I just see you with like a highball of a cigarette and being like, it had something to do with My Little Pony. I don't know.
I mean,
I was always just so disappointed.
I remember when I was 13 and I got a stereo system and I got a Vinnie Vincent Invasion tape. That was a pretty great year. That's literally the one that stands out to me.
We'll go with that.
My best Christmas memories are the Christmases of 83, 84, and 85 because I got the X-Wing and the Y-Wing and the Ewok Village in 83. I got the Hovercraft, Optimus Prime, Jetfire in 84, and then I got the G.I. Joe Hovercraft. And then in 85, I got Voltron with all the figures. So.
That was like the highest tier of like starting a collection. If you could just have some things to get started,
right?
That would be your Disneyland wish list.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry we got distracted from Bioman, but yeah. So this is the Bio Dragon carrier, and I haven't quite figured out yet, and I don't want to break anything, but I haven't figured out how this quite goes together because you have other parts of the carrier that then reconfigure. See how this pops out right here?
Yeah, but it has like an additional spring unit here. There's so much mechanism here.
Yeah. It's I'm gonna do some more.
The kid who knew how to do this was like the smartest kid you knew.
Yeah, and like it's got these little they must serve a purpose. I'm gonna have to do some research to make sure that because you don't. This is the type
These
of toy.
look like they latch onto something. That would hook here.
This is the type of toy that you don't want to experiment and break it. You want to learn how to operate it the first time around because these are not common. My local vintage. Thank you, Lio, for the super chat. My local vintage toy shop just got in a bunch of Bandai Super Sentai stuff. The fact that people had these in the States, even in the 70s, is mind-boggling. Yeah, the Bandai Godaiken line preceded Voltron by at least a year, and that was when you could get Bandai's Golion with all of the missiles, sword, shield, everything. But kids at the time who bought it would have just been buying a robot they liked. There was no cartoon to entice them. So the way I look at it, if you were a kid who was into these robots in 83 with no cartoons to support them, you had some impeccable taste. I mean, you really did. Because these were the nicest toys you could get coming from Japan, being sold in the United States with no collateral to tell you what they were about. I mean, just gorgeous toys. And you could get all kinds of characters from this line. You could get Golion, aka Voltron. You could get Bioman. You could get Daltanius. You could get Voltes 5. You could get not Die-Rugger. You could get Goggle 5. There were a ton of these.
Hey, read Jared Luna's
Jared
comment.
Luna's?
The next to the bottom.
Next to the bottom. Jared, it says, Christmas Eve night, and my parents feign like they couldn't remember what I asked for. Then my dad reaches under the living room couch and slides an Omega Supreme to me across the floor. Wow, we were just talking about Omega Supreme earlier. That's an impressive gift, man. What do you still have it? Just curious.
We can't hear him.
I know, but he can type.
Did you see?
Yeah, Retro Station. Thank you for the super chat. Huge fan. Best Christmas present was Jabba's Skiff board game. Yes, I remember the commercial for that. I wanted that, but never got it. And the Millennium Falcon Empire Edition when we got back to the States from Germany. Yeah, man. You know, I didn't even know that the box art for the Millennium Falcon changed movie to movie until I was an adult and saw them in collectible shops. And then I really wanted the Empire box because my Falcon came in the Jedi box. But man, I was blown away by that when I found that out.
Yes, Nighter Friend, that would be a big couch.
But yeah, so this was the shocker from the donation was the Bioman Bio Dragon, just a beautiful piece, and I mean it looks like with the way that oh my gosh, look.
Yeah, someone did earlier. They said that they fold down into the side, so it goes.
So
into
it kind of folds down like this with the conning tower coming up,
and
yeah. And that kind of comes up. Yeah.
It handles business.
Yeah.
Also, it's a phased array antenna. But anyway.
Wow.
That is interesting detail for a children's toy to have something like a phased array antenna from the 70s. I mean, that was high tech back then.
Yeah.
Sure.
Lio Convoy says, are you aware how much that Bio Dragon is worth?
Yes, I am very aware of how much it's worth. And I told James the moment I found out, I said, James, do you want this back? I said, because even though it's incomplete, it's still unbroken, the parts that are here, and worth a pretty penny. And he said, no. He said, I want it to be safe in the RetroBlasting studio. And I was really humbled by that. I was like, okay. I said, but it's always yours if you want it. So James can always claim this. This is not mine. I'm just a steward for him right now to keep this safe. Because it was... I'm going to clean it up a little bit, dust it off, but it was...
RetroBlasting needs no king.
I was going to say that.
This was sitting in a non-climate controlled storage shed.
Wow.
With a bunch of other toys. So getting it into a climate controlled environment like this, out of the temperature and all that is imperative. So
it weathered it well.
It did.
If anything, it has a bit of weathering, but
yeah, a little bit of weathering, slight yellowing in places, but it survived
and that classic
impeccably well.
In a box from the 70s dust.
Jason Anderson puts on mask. Hi, I'm James. Can I have a Bio Dragon?
We're on to you.
He would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those snooping kids.
For that meddling Melinda.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's something where I know that this piece is going to be one that I will put up a search and wait for probably several years to try and find the missing parts for it. And when I do,
it is good to have a long-term project.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I think.
yeah. But this type of piece is worth finding the parts for. It's worth putting it back together. But yeah, so I don't know where we can go from here. This is the donation, but I wanted to devote this entire live stream to this donation because it was, as you can see, it was a doozy, as they would have said in the 30s. It's a doozy.
It's a real humdinger, Michael.
Humdinger. So yeah. This was the donation, and it's here in the studio.
It is a wonderful life.
Yeah, it's a wonderful life. Wonderful.
So how's
and here we are, and this Bio Man. I mean, look at it. Just look. It's got airplanes and it's so great.
He's on fire.
Oh, it's gonna collapse. Better put that down. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Yeah, so this was. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Any final questions before we sign off on the live stream? Oh yeah, you want the moon, Mary? Yeah, yeah.
Careful, Jody will buy it for you.
Every time a bell rings, a Funko Pop burns in a fire somewhere. Jason Anderson's on fire today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Let's just stand back and let you do that.
that's just stupid. All right. Guys, can't thank you enough for being here. Hope this was fun.
I had a lot of fun for sure.
I'm going to be on the Clobberin' Time podcast tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern to talk about The Rise of Skywalker. The format, again, for those of you who may have just joined, I have not seen the movie. Mike Alonso, the host, has seen it, and he's going to tell me the movie scene by scene and get my reaction, and we're going to comment on it scene by scene. Me having not seen it, him having seen it. So if you've listened to the dollop, you'll know the format.
That should go really smooth.
I think it'll be a real, heartwarming fireside chat.
I can't wait.
Lyo Convoy wants to know when we're going to do a cat review.
A review of our literal cats?
I don't know if that's what he means, but...
Good luck getting them to hang out on the table here.
There
might be a mutiny.
I see he says, I will ask this until I get one. I assume you mean our actual cats, in which case that's an interesting idea, and we can definitely do that in the new year. I have no objection to that.
Certain cats have certain action features that other cats don't have.
This is killing me. Apparently there's a Cobra Terradrome on eBay for $46,000 right now. Sounds a little fishy.
Yeah, that shouldn't be that high. Someone's
doing something funny with money there.
Yeah, they just want to see if some sucker will buy it. Would you hate me for missing out on buying a white X-Wing for 24 pounds?
We're not going to hate you, ever.
If you missed out on it, it's not the end of the world, but that's a good price for one, especially if you say 24 pounds, and if it's the Palatoy version with the chrome R2-D2, that's a real steal. I would definitely do that.
All right.
I still need one of those. Don't buy that, Jody. Don't do it.
Stand down, Jody. Stand down, Jody, please.
I love you, man. All right. Well, guys, I guess we're going to end the live stream here. But yes, Knights of Ren, real quick, there will be a Christmas Day live stream as we've always done. It's going to be a non-monetized live stream. I'll be there just to talk with anybody who's
kind of a hangout.
Yeah, it's a hangout for anybody who's alone on Christmas Day. We've always done it since we've had the channel.
Or even if you're not alone.
And even if you're not alone, you can join the live stream. But yeah, especially for people who might be alone on the holidays.
Or if you're not.
You're not, that's fine too. But yeah, I will be doing a live stream. So feel free to join in on that. Thank you for bringing that up.
And what is the time for that?
That live stream, I'll probably start that on Christmas Day around the same time, like 2 o'clock, I guess.
So 2 o'clock Christmas Day,
Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock Christmas Day, live stream right here. So
I might try to pop in one form or another.
Pop in remotely. Yeah.
Merry Christmas and Cobra Commander voice, please. That's what...
Cobra Commander voice. Oh, God, I don't even think I can do... Oh, God, it's going to...
It's going to be the last thing he says.
It's going to be Jimmy Commander.
I mean, I can say Merry Christmas as Skeletor! But to say it as Cobra Commander is very difficult, and I need multiple takes. So
I don't think so. I think
Merry Christmas, you fools! I can't... It takes me multiple takes to rag out my throat.
That's a wrap.
So
Did we get that?
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, guys.